What is going on, everyone? Luca Rosano here, back with another video. Hope you're all doing well. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at some potential free agent targets for the Toronto Raptors going into this 2022 NBA free agency period. NBA free agency officially kicks off Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. And there's sure to be a lot of action like there is every year. And let's see if the Raptors can get in on the action. Let's see if the Raptors can go after a couple of names to help out this team. So we're going to take a look at some names before we dive right into it. Please do me a solid favor. Drop a like on the video. It does help it a ton. Subscribe to the channel if you are new for more content just like this. Plus, turn on post notifications because I'm coming out with content all off season long. So some news off the bat here before we get into our list. The Toronto Raptors and Fred VanVleet appear headed towards a contract extension that could approach 4 years and over $110 million, sources told Bleacher Report. Thaddeus Young is expected to find a 2-year agreement worth at least $10 million to rejoin Toronto. And then also Mo Bamba appears to have interest from the Bulls and Raptors, among other teams, in search of rim protection. This is via Jake L. Fisher. Okay, let's get into some of the Raptors' needs. Now, the Raptors have Achua, and they just drafted Koloko, but getting a center is still going to be something that the Raptors will look to address. The Raptors also need some spot-up shooting, and even better, a reliable 3-and-D wing. And then the Raptors also would benefit from getting a suitable backup point guard who can play with and elevate the second unit. So just to go over what the Raptors will be working with in terms of money, the Raptors will have to use cap exceptions to add players through free agency, and will have the non-taxpayer mid-level exception worth about $10.3 million, and the biannual exception, a contract that can last up to 2 seasons and is worth just a little over $4 million. That's what they're going to be working with when free agency opens up. So to begin here, in terms of the Raptors going after bigger names, such as a Deandre Ayden, which is something that I did preview in a previous video, the Raptors are going to have to execute a sign-and trade since it would be out of the Raptors' price range. So it isn't likely that the Raptors do make a big splash of going after Deandre Ayden, but you never know. So that is somebody that would make a whole lot of sense on the Raptors, but there's going to be a whole ton of teams going after Deandre Ayden, and you better believe the market for him is going to be steep. The first name I got on my list of a potential free agent target that would make sense for the Raptors to pursue is Mo Bamba. He's a center, he's a restricted free agent, and Mo Bamba hasn't come close to living up to the hype of being a number 6 overall pick of the 2018 NBA draft, but he is a very intriguing prospect. He's a 7-footer with a 7'10" wingspan who can block shots, and he can also knock down threes, which is a very key part of his game. And he's only 24 years old, so has plenty of room to grow, and he would make a very interesting addition for the Toronto Raptors. And I feel like we've been talking about Mo Bamba with the Toronto Raptors for quite some time now. I think this would be a very good fit for both sides, and personally, this is something that I do want to see. Out of all these names, Mo Bamba would make the most sense in my opinion, and would make me very happy if the Raptors did land him. Another potential free agent target, a restricted free agent, Nicolas Claxton. This is a guy who has been linked to the Raptors in the past. The Raptors were reportedly close to acquiring Claxton from the Nets at the trade deadline, but of course that did not happen. He's a lob threat who can protect the rim and switch on defense, and it's not hard to see why the Raptors would have interest in Claxton. I think Claxton is done with the Nets. I do see him going to another team, so why not the Raptors? The next player I have on this list, he's a guard, Gary Harris, an unrestricted free agent. He played with the Magic last season. And as mentioned, the Raptors need someone who can hit shots, especially threes. As a team, the Raptors shot under 35% from beyond the arc during the 2021-2022 season. They were ranked 20th overall in the league. That number went down to 30% in the postseason, as we saw the Raptors had some very bad shooting spurts in that series against Philadelphia. But someone like Gary Harris can potentially help the Raptors significantly, as he is a perimeter threat. He's 27 years old, and he did quite well for the Magic. He scored 11.1 points per game while shooting 38.4% from three-point land. That's the third best three-point shooting of his career so far. So a guy like Gary Harris would make sense for the Raptors, just adding some more scoring and shooting that would help the Raptors' second unit. Okay, another name I got here. Very interesting name, and a guy that I would really like the Raptors to pursue, and that is Tyus Jones, guard. Unrestricted free agent. He, of course, spent his time with the Grizzlies last season. You look at Tyus Jones, he's an excellent floor general who made a career-best 39% of his three-point attempts this season. That's pretty good. Now, there is a strong possibility that Tyus Jones will get a lot more money than what the Raptors can offer. But if they could get Tyus Jones on a steal deal, they would instantly have their backup for Fred VanVleet. And then one more name, a reunion. Delon Wright, point guard, unrestricted free agent. And this makes sense. He has grown into a very capable point guard. He's tall, he's 6'5", and he's a very good defender. And this is a guy that, at the very least, could give the Raptors some much-needed defense, even if he's not going to help the Raptors with their shooting when he does come in for a Fred VanVleet. Giving Fred a breather and playing sound defense, something that Nick Nurse prioritizes, would be something that benefits the Raptors. I got some other names here as honorable mentions. I did mark down Bobby Portis's name, but it's believed that he'll resign with the Bucks, so unlikely that would happen. And then another name is Malik Monk, but it's said that he's willing to take less money to rejoin the Lakers. So there goes that. So those are just a couple of names that I could see being great fits on the Toronto Raptors. There's a good chance that none of these names fall with the Raptors. You never know with NBA free agency. There could be curveballs when you least expect it. But these are some targets that I think do make sense for the Raptors to pursue. What name would you like to see the Raptors go after? If I haven't mentioned it already, let me know in the comment section down below. And stay tuned. It's sure to be another crazy NBA offseason period. I know there's not a whole ton of big names out there, but it's still going to make for a lot of transactions and a lot of action. Keep your eyes on Twitter. You never know when news is going to break. And keep it locked and loaded on this channel, because as soon as the Raptors make a move, you better believe I will be all over that. That's it for me. As always, thank you so much for watching. This is Luca Rosano signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see how NBA free agency 2022 plays out.